Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and Tradefly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Friday. We got Tradefly back in the house. We got PCE data. We got Caspa pushing up towards a new all-time high. And we're going to be breaking all that down. Plus, probably going to talk a little bit about that crazy debate last night. All that and more today on Piper Academy. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. I am your host, Army Piper, and I am joined by two amazing co-hosts here, Tradefly, OC Guy in the house. Tradefly, are you looking at your trades there? Is that what you were doing there? You're just looking at looking at your trades?
You were a little quick for me, man. You caught me in the act. But yo, good to be back, man. I'm so ready to mix it up with you guys. I got some sleep last night, so I'm excited. We're going to talk Caspa. I got all kinds of things going on in my life around Caspa. Had a banger of a trade and getting a Caspa mining rig. So all things Caspa. Hey, I guess that's why I'm on the thumbnail today. Let's go. I'm excited to be here. Happy Friday. Over to OC.
What's up, OC? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I mean, I also had a great night's sleep. Yesterday, I went out with my fiance to eat out, and yeah, we had a great day. A great night.
That's good. That's good. We're gonna jump into the news because I think that we're gonna have a lot of chart requests today. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Whatever you guys drop over there in the chat, we'll be looking at. But let's go ahead and let's get into the news so we can break that out and get that all out of the way today, guys. Fear and greed. We're now in neutral. We have lost that fear. We are sitting at neutral at 47. That is the update for today. Jumping over to the crypto bubbles on the hourly here, on the daily, but I'll move over to the hourly. We can see on the daily, AKT still up 15.6%. Ethereum naming system, that is how you get like a .eth name. It's up 6.4%. AVAX getting a little rebound on the daily, up 4.7, but nothing major. Matter of fact, it's red on the daily and the hourly. Getting a little pullback on that data this morning because honestly, it was a nothing burger. The things that came in either met expectations or got canceled out by something else. So nothing really major there on that data, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at what that data was in just a second here. Moving over, let's go back. Bitcoin currently sitting at about $61,457, so 61.5 range is where it's sitting at. Ethereum still trading in that $3,400 range. So guys, not a lot of movement there on that. But I do want to point out that on the monthly, Ethereum and Bitcoin down 10.6%, 10.5 in that ballpark. Not looking the greatest on the monthly still. So we're going to be looking at those levels, see where we are at. But let's go down to Caspa and check out Caspa. Caspa still sitting at number 24, guys. It is up on the daily 0.7%, up on the month 27.4. And I've got a whole article about that. So we're just going to skip on over, check out those liquidations, see how we're looking there, guys. In the past 24 hours, 29,100 traders liquidated. Guys, that's a very low number of traders. I told you yesterday that it was very likely we were going to see a slowdown because people have shorted as much as they can, and now they don't trust going any shorter because they don't want to get squeezed, and longs have a distrust that it's still ready to go up because there is so much sell pressure and FUD going around. So at the end of the day, people are just kind of sitting there not doing much. Only 29,000 traders liquidated, which is a lot less than we typically see. Even at the liquidation amount, $65 million, that's nothing in comparison to what we normally see. Although this person here did lose almost $1 million on a liquidation for an ETH trade. Jumping into this economic calendar, let's take a look and see what it says here. Let's go to impact level 2. There we go. And we had the core PCE this morning. And actually, we're just going to do it this way because I got a nice little breakdown here. There we go. This is the article that came out about the PCE, giving a beautiful breakdown on it. It says prior was 0.2% year over year, falls to the lowest since March 2021. So core PCE year over year lowest since March 2021. But at the end of the day, prior was at 0.2%. Prior core month over month was at 0.2. It was revised to 0.3, by the way. Gotta love those revisions on the back table, right? Core year over year came in as expected. Headline PCE came in as expected. Headline PCE as expected. That means all the forecasts that they had on this, expectations is what was hit. Nothing major really coming out except for PCE excluding services actually up a little bit, or down 0.2% after revisions there. So no big surprises in the headlines. They're in line with the estimates, while the variation in the income and spending numbers is small and the revisions aren't material. I think the Fed will look favorably at this report and confirm softer CPI. So just wanted to touch on that. And then lastly here, guys, we'll talk about this debate here in a second, because I'm going to ask these guys if they watched it and what they thought of it. But Biden's debate performance sets off alarm bells for Democrats. I don't know if you guys were watching the news last night, but it was crazy afterwards. It was actually better than the actual debate. President Joe Biden's debate performance set off alarm bells among top Democrats, leaving some to openly question whether Biden can stay atop the Democratic ticket. Let's jump back over to the trio cam here and talk about this, because that economic data, we'll touch on that first. Big nothing burger, in my opinion. Your thoughts on it, Tradefly? What do you think? How'd that turn out?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really don't have a whole lot to add there. And on the debate itself, I didn't actually watch the debate. I did watch some clips from it, though, because I was interested to see kind of what happened. But of course, you only get the spicy stuff when you watch the clips and the highlights. But it looked like Biden was struggling a little bit there. And if you're kind of tracking, it sounds like the Democrats are a little worried, and as they should be, because I don't know that Biden is necessarily fit at this point to continue to be the president. He's just having a really hard time. He's getting older. That's really what it comes down to. And that's a completely unbiased opinion. He's just getting very old, and he's not at his prime. And the U.S. is in a spot right now that we need somebody that is in their prime, that is mentally sharp, and is able to articulate what they're feeling or what needs to be said to the people, as well as needs to be strong and be able to make solid decisions for us. And that's really what it comes down to. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. So, OC, did you watch any of the debates last night? Did you see any of the news, the moderators talking afterwards? Because there was some interesting stuff there in that. What did you see on it? What's your thoughts?
I wasn't able to finish up the debate. I'm going to be also finishing up today. I had, personal plans afterwards that got in the way, but I absolutely started watching. And since I'm from Mexico, I'm not going to be talking too much about politics in USA today, but I'm going to be talking about politicians on my country, right? And just peel up your ears, because this kind of like fits for all the world, right? Guys, I do agree with Tradefly, right? There's a caveat here. You need, or we all need, to start choosing the guy that can lead the way, not because he talks pretty, not because he kind of looks good, not because he touched with the people, but because he is capable. All right. So for example, in my country, we have always kicked out the nerdy guy that seems that he's going to be doing great. And that nerdy guy, after participating for the presidency, he gets hired by the Bank of Mexico. Then he gets invited to the UNN, right? He gets invited everywhere, and he's just doing amazing. In what we got, we always get the short end of the stick, right? So here's a food for thought. Do not try to vote, all right? Try to vote for whoever actually is capable of taking your country to a new prime, right? And if you don't have that candidate, well, propose it, right? Push it. At the end of it all, you're voting for politicians, and politicians are not movie stars, are not your friends, and they are your employees. And who's paying an employee to get, I don't know, get thrown in jail, get chasing after taxes, so on and so forth. So just food for thought right there. Vote responsibly, think your vote, and make it count.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's it, man. It's vote on policy. Don't worry about party. And right now, I'm not really seeing anything that can give me a warm fuzzy beyond policy, because if it's based on policy, I know where my vote is at. So I'll just leave it at that. But CNN moderators last night absolutely showing concern afterwards. I'd never seen CNN people talk as badly about Biden as they did last night after that debate. So we'll leave it at that. We're going to get into the charts and take a look at this stuff here. But I want to give a big shout out to all the Investing Bros people jumping into the chat right now. Welcome to Piper Academy. We are happy to have you guys here. So let's go ahead and jump over, take a look at the Bitcoin chart and see where we're at right now, because we did have a little bit of movement this morning on that data coming out on PCE. And now we're starting to just see more boring sideways action. That is what we're getting there. Let's get that fixed range volume profile to load here. And you'll see here yesterday, this is where we had this value area low on that fixed range volume profile. And we're still sitting here just doing this sideways grind that we've been in here since about 25 June. So about 3 days now, we've just been in this sideways range here on Bitcoin, not getting a whole lot of move. But I will point out something on the oscillator here. We did get the goose head on the ribbon, which we talked about yesterday, typically leads to another upside. That was when we were here, and then we came back up. Yesterday morning, we were down here at the value area low. I said, if this value area low holds, it does look like we're getting another goose head here, moving it to the upside. Well, now it looks like we're getting another goose head, guys. So I do expect that we're going to see this come up in this range of this dynamic reactor, crossing into the 50% on this channel here. Just so you guys can see, that's the white lines there. That is the channel that we've been in for a hot minute, and that is the 50% line. You can see it was resistance back here, and then you can also see that we had it as support for a little bit, another chance of resistance there. So when we pull that in, you can see that's just the trade pattern that we have been in, is this downward channel. This falling channel, guys, typically trades out on a breakout to the upside. So that is what we're seeing there on that. Let's go ahead and jump over, see what Tradefly has on his heat map, and then let's get into some altcoins.
Right on. I got the liquidation heat map up on the 3-day, and you can see, if you guys watch this show, we're open for business right now. All right. So we have price action potentially on the liquidity on the top and the bottom side. Okay. So but it's none of it's really like close to where the price action is. So, and it's about the same on the top and the bottom side. So I don't think there's going to be a huge driving factor. A lot of times you're going to see a heavy bit of liquidity, maybe to the bottom or to the top. You see that wick down to clear out that liquidity, and then you see a bounce. It could go either direction today. So I'm not going to really push to be like, hey, I think we're going to go down or up today. I'm not going to do that to you, because even if you come down to the daily and you look at it, kind of telling you the same story. You got liquidity on the top and the bottom side, which means there is indecision, and that the market maker has gotten his and he's cleared out a lot of the liquidity. So we are open for business to come back and look at the charts and do a little bit of TA. I think Piper's giving you some great areas right here. So I'm just going to look at it on the daily. All right. Looking at it on the daily, one of the things we really have to think about is the dynamic reactor as well as the value area low. All right. And Piper talked about that a little bit, but we also have the golden pocket. It's a lot of resistance right now for Bitcoin to actually make it through. That's why you're seeing that range and that kind of slowing in momentum right now, because we have to break through that. What Piper's telling you, though, is there's an opportunity. All right. You see prophecy is hitting market pumps. You see that we had a reversal on trend indicator, and you can see that the RSI, or the prime oscillator, is starting to trend up and right. It is trying to break through that resistance. So when we break through that resistance, you're going to get a pop. All right. You're going to get a nice move up. You do have a small area of resistance here at about 63.3. But I think the bigger area is going to be the 0.5 at 64.2. So look for those two areas. If we do get some price action up and right, of course, if it does come back down, you still have the support range. We've been talking about this for months now at this point, because it goes all the way back to February. So that is support. So we're caught. We're definitely caught in a range. Keep an eye on it and look for a breakout one way or another. I'm not going to sit here and try to say, hey, we're going through. But if I'm looking at this closely on the daily, what I do see, just for your SA here, SA means situational awareness. It's a military term. Sorry for using that on you. But I see pressure building up and right. Okay. So pressure building up and right, multiple retests of this area, which would lead me to believe that there is a better opportunity to break to the upside. All right. That's all we can do. We try to take statistical probabilities, put them in our favor, and that's the way we like to trade. That's what I'm looking at. I'll pass it over to OC.
Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to Biomex also dropping a $2 super chat there. He said, the Goosehead Pokemon. Yes. When I am trading and I want to go long, I say Goosehead, I pick you and I throw out my Pokemon ball. So shout out to Biomex there, man.
Yo,
Thanks for coming in today.
Speaking of shout outs, let's give some shout outs.
Let's do some shout outs. We got T-Shroom in here. I saw him. I saw T-Shroom in the house.
Bro, we got the Investing Bros like fam in here. All right, let's go ahead and run down the chart or the chat real quick. Lunar Beaches Crypto, Kyle Fields, Alexander G, Best Mod in the house, Biomex, what's up, brother? Harp, Eric Wallen. Let's see, scrolling. Crux of Crypto, Harp, Amy Lives Crypto, Arson246, username Louis B, and Kyle Fields. I think I already shot you out. You got 2 today. Congratulations, Mike Play, Silver Grinder. And T Shrooms in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? Glad to see you. Warrior 4558 Bio throwing a 199 in there. Thank you very much, sir. And that is it. But hey, Dave Digital sneaking in the bottom there. What's up, bro?
Absolutely. OC, you seen anything different on your Bitcoin chart than what we saw, or do you have anything additional to add to that you're seeing?
Well, I do have a little bit of a interest of, look further into what's happening right at the end. Let me just bring a couple of things here really quick. Remember that previously we were talking about we could be into a Wyckoff pattern here, basically on a creek going back down to the spring and having that spring basically breaking back in. We don't have the spring confirmation. For the spring to be confirmed is basically we need to go break through a couple of things and then find support. Where do we have support? Well, I'm planning to look for this. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. Finding those order blocks to get some strength back and then act as a support as we break through them, then back into this soft order block that I will be expecting to become a hard or a loud order block, and then finally break through. This will be my spring breakout. But there's also something, if you guys are a little bit into intraday trading, which is, I think inception over Wyckoff, because look at what's happening right down here. And let me go into the 30 minutes really quick. And I will be basically telling you guys that we had a 70% chances of ranging, and we had that range. So very quick, if you don't understand Wyckoff, you can go into the Binance Academy. They do a great job to explaining Wyckoff. Basically, they follow this little range, V-shaped recovery, and the next high not higher than the previous range, and that gives you 70% chances of ranging. What am I bringing this into? Because for me, despite ranging, it is classified as a boring market. For me, it's a money printer, because if you can analyze the range and find out the top and the bottom, well, then that is just like cheating. I mean, you already know it's going to be bouncing, right? So who's going to say no to some easy money? So look at that. We have a little range in here going back down. Yes, we have another range here, V-shaped recovery, and the next high not higher than the previous range. This equals 70% chances of ranging. And how do we define the range? At the bottom or at that price area, and then at the first bottom. And basically we got it going on, and we have 1, 2, 3, and then we could be going for the 4th or 5th possible trade. So look at Wyckoff if you are interested on trading the ranges. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are new in the show here, and you guys are just joining for your first time, don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Join the alumni here. We go live every single Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome to everybody that's here. I want to jump over and talk about Bitcoin dominance for a second here. Guys, the Bitcoin dominance here, I'm seeing some key things here. I'm always talking about this 54.51% is 54.5, we'll call it. This is the line in the sand that I've been watching for, and we've broken below it a couple of times, but we're coming down to this dynamic reactor and getting our support off of that bounce. Right now, we are actually below the dynamic reactor. So I'm going to be watching for that next level, being that 52.3% that I've been watching here. Comes in very close to that 0.382 there on the Fibonacci's. And you can see that 50% Fibonacci has absolutely proven the sequence is correct there, getting that rejection off of that and heading down. I'm looking at this on a daily chart right now. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin dominance start to shrink down as Bitcoin continues to trade sideways sideways, that is when altcoins typically take their opportunity to move. And if we jump over here and look at the total too, this is the total market cap valuation minus Bitcoin. And we've talked about this on here last week, where we have this pattern of accumulation on downside. And then once we break that neckline there, where, you know, we previously had support, comes up, breaks down into it, go over, we break out, we retest it, and then that is typically what leads historically to the upside. You can see that here. We had the accumulation period where it had support, broke it, had a rejection, resistance, finally broke through, retested, and led to this massive 1,350% move of altcoin valuation market cap there. We can even go further back here on the chart, and you'll see that we've had it in other times also. Once it turned green, I don't have it built on here, but you can see the pattern is there. A nice little range right there. There's that little line. We came in, and then up it goes. So again, guys, we're setting up for this, and that Bitcoin dominance doing what it's doing on the daily right now is saying that this altcoin season might not be too far away. Keep in mind, these are weekly candles on here. So that could play out later in July and August, that time, you know, push it out that far. But I do think we're going to see a green month in July. I think it's going to be pretty good for us. Matter of fact, historically, most of the Julys historically on Bitcoin have been green. The downsides have been an average of 4 to 7% downside. So July looking like it could be pretty good for us, especially if we don't have any economic data come in and shake that all up on us. So let me take a look here, see what we got here. We're going to talk about Caspa here in just a few moments as we get into the altcoins. Guys, if you got any alts you want us to do some TA on, drop it there in the chat. OC is ready to put that list together, and we'll start knocking out that TA for you on request. But let's jump over here. Take a look at this article, guys. Caspa token bucks the broader market, surges 26% in a week. The rally was accompanied by an even bigger surge in futures open interest. Caspa getting a lot of futures calls on it now. The Caspa blockchain is the best performing top 100 cryptocurrency of the past 7 days. The price rally was accompanied by an even bigger surge in that open futures interest. And let's take a look at what it's saying down here. That's been the case recently since last Friday. Negative price action in Bitcoin and Ether has pulled the total market value of digital assets lower by 3.4% to $2.2 trillion. So painting a dour picture of that crypto market. But that decline obscures the 26% surge in Caspa blockchain's KAS token. The token ranked 27th in market value on on the crypto bubbles. Is sitting at number 24, and it's topped 18 cents. It's nearing the record high of 19.6 cents reached earlier this month, according to the data source CoinGecko. That makes KAS the best performing asset in the top 100. It's a proof of work blockchain, Ghost DAG. We have a whole video on it. You can check it out in our lineup under Crux's curriculum, but he breaks down KAS beautifully over there. So I recommend you guys go check that video out. But looking at the futures open, those futures opens of open interest has surged by 58% to $65 million. So we're a lot of stuff moving on Caspa. So let's go check out that chart, and then we'll start into the altcoins on the request there, guys. Let's go here and let's go check on KAS, because that is what we want to see. All right, so looking at Caspa here, I'm on the daily. Let's put this onto a 4-hour just to show you what's going on here. Let me get that fixed range volume profile to load. There we go. So guys, yesterday we were talking about that we had this value area high, and that is where our resistance is. And we are continuing to try to squeeze out of that value area high range, pushing up to that all-time high, which would be back here, guys. We had a little area there that hit about 18.9. That is a range of resistance, but that all-time high is sitting right here, not too far back, where we hit right there at 19.3 cents. That's the range that we have to get into. That's why I have the red T box on here. Shout out to TA10 with his T boxes. Once we get past this, you guys can see we've got great support right now on the 4-hour on this phase 9 golden pocket. Each one of these is an extension of a trend-based fib extension of golden pocket. So this is the 0.618 in extension 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up, right? So this is phase 9 that's giving us our support right now, and that is coming in at about 17.8 cents there. If we take a look at what we're doing in here, if we bring it in a little bit, we're getting support, and this candle just now bounced on that again. So I'm watching for it to break out of this. Once we get a breakout of this value area high, I do believe that we are heading up to that 10.6 cents, or 19.4 cents at the 10.618 Bayes golden pocket there. Let's take a look at real quick on the oscillators for the daily. I want to show you, we still got plenty of room to move up here. Nice, big, fat, broad, wide line of growth here on the momentum ribbon here for the Oscillator Pro. And we still have a long way that we can go up on the RSI Prime. We're sitting at about 94% for a local top there. And we're right now only at like 77%. These candles are Heikin-Ashi candles. What this is, if you don't know, is the relative strength index changed into candles Heikin-Ashi style. And so once we start to get shorter candles here, that will indicate that we're getting a reversal there, just like we had there, and that was the reversal in price. Right now, these candlesticks are still looking good. I believe we still have more upside coming on Caspa, guys. All-time high coming in soon. So let's go. Tradefly, let's go ahead and kick it over to you, and then we'll just reverse the order here on the lineup for altcoins and see what we got. You're muted, bro. Yep.
Sorry about that. All right. So Caspa, I got that up on the 4 hour. And the only reason I have it up, I'll keep it quick, is because I had an open trade that we were talking about. And so what we saw is that it came down the golden pocket. We found support there in the golden pocket, came down, got the retest of the 0.5, and then up and away. So I play that. You can see that one of the things I was looking at on the way up, besides the smart target that Chart Prime so beautifully put out for us, that it did hit, by the way. So shout out to Chart Prime. But I was looking for a retest and continuation of price action up and right for Caspa. So I stayed in the trade there. But this thing played out beautifully. Now, what I was looking at, my exit here, initially I was looking at the 0.236, full transparency, right? But look, it just popped right through that. So that's sometimes, that's why you set alerts. You want to look at what is it doing when it gets to that price action or to that area that you're looking at, what shot right through. And then it came down and did the OC retest right there. So you see it right there. Wick, and then continuation of upside. So that's one thing. So we saw that twice. We saw that at the 0.382. We saw it at the 0.236. I mean, it wicked off of those areas beautifully. So that's how we know that this right here, this fib retracement that we have up is well placed. All right. So it came up. Next thing I was looking at, I was like, all right, we're getting close. We're pushing. It's an exponential move up. See, this is a very clear area of resistance. You come back here, you see both resistance and support in the same area at about 18. That's where I decided to exit the trade. Ended up being an absolute banger, 532%. That is certified right there. And then I'm also in a trade with AVAX. All right. So looking at AVAX, it came down to this area of support right here at about 23 or so. All right. And all I did was go back to this range. Remember, we talked about this and I was like, hey, this is the same thing that we saw with Bitcoin. It came down to a previous range, found support, and then it started making its move up and right. So I was like, all right, I'm going to look at entering a trade here on AVAX, and you can see what I did, a little bit of risk management as well. I'd prefer maybe a 2-to-1 vice what I did was a 1 to 1.55. But what I was doing is I was putting that stop loss underneath of the 0.786. All right. So the top of the platinum pocket, I figured if it goes down there, then we're going to see it move down a little bit further. Realistically, I think 18.9 was probably a little bit better of a target area in terms of where price action would go if it fell through. But anyways, a little bit of risk management. And it actually pushed up to my target area of about 28. I think it actually went to 29. So I'm probably going to close that one out right now. Let's go ahead and look at that right now on the positions. You can see I'm up $271, 83%. AVAX, another banger of a trade. So if you're asking why I'm, in a good mood this morning, I'm just hitting bangers right now. So, but what I'm looking at is the golden pocket. I think you're going to find resistance there. So could I be wrong? I'd like to be wrong, but it's an obvious area of resistance and we have to break through it. I think I'm just going to go ahead, smile, take my money to the bank, put it back and look for the next trade at this point, because that's honestly how I prefer to do trades. Now for this one, I went 5x leverage. The Caspa one, the reason that one was so inflated is I did go hard in the paint on that one. I did a 25x. I was feeling a little bullish on Caspa, obviously. Piper talked about that. So there's two trades that I did made. Just want to show you guys that. Again, I'm trying to be a little more transparent with my trades so that you guys can see that and see kind of how I'm doing it. And then, yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome. We got a list lined up here, dropped in the chat. OC put the list together. I'm going to be doing Chainlink here in a second, but I want to give a shout out. Caffeinated Crypto dropping a super chat, gifting that out, and it went to the Biomex. So, Biomex, congratulations.
Nice.
Welcome to the alumni. Guys, that membership group, when you see those little symbols there, the Piper Academy next to all those people, they are all entered into our monthly giveaway. Last month, we gave away $100 in Ondo and $100 in USDT. We got to figure out what token we're giving away. It might be Caspa. I don't know. We'll have to take a look and see. But guys, yeah, $100 in Caspa, I think is what we're going to do for this month's giveaway. And I think we might do that. We normally do it on the first Friday of the month. We might actually do that on July 4th when we have Amy Lives Crypto as a guest live on the show with us. So we might do that giveaway that day. Let me know, though, what would you guys like for a giveaway? Caspa up a little bit high right now, so maybe we go with something that's poised to move, not that's already done a 26% move in a week. I don't know. We'll take a look at it, though. But if you are a member, you're entered into that chance. So let's go ahead and jump over to OC, see what OC's got on his chart, and then we will come back. I'll be knocking out Chainlink next, Link Marines. So
Absolutely. Also, a little bit of a shout out here for LBC that is in the chat. Also, we have Tish Room, and also something special from yesterday, Crypto Pollo. Guys, if you're not watching his show, what he's got, he's a very smart man, and he was sharing a couple of alpha here with me. So, man, I really appreciate Crypto Pollo. Thank you yesterday for that chat. That was amazing. So let's take a look at here what we got. So this is Cardano, and we have a couple of things that we were looking yesterday. So let me just clear things up in here so we can see a little bit more clear. And what I was seeing is that we have a flat top in here. Usually we start breaking to the upside on those flat tops. That's why I have this possible scenario since yesterday, right? So remember, I'm not trying to enter on the breakout, especially because we have the dynamic reactor coming in strong, and dynamic reactor is the highest volume area at the instant, right? So that is usually a big support or a big resistance, depending whether we are above or below. So what I want to see is basically this, the oscillator breaking above and then finding the retest. Seems like we're moving faster, and that retest might be about to play it out in here. And on that retest, I want to see the price breakout, then going for, again, the price retest, and then off we go. After we break the dynamic reactor on that retest right here, that will be my entry, or where I'm going to be start looking for ADA to enter. Also, for the base or for supports, we have two, one that has many touches and one that only goes for the weeks. Both of those are higher lows, and we're making this shape. In this case, it's a little bit more dramatic, and in this case, it's a little bit more soft, right? So the first area of support that I'm going to be looking at is going to be this area right here, in case we flip back down for a possible re-entry, and then I'll be looking at these areas. But I'm pushing for a breakout to the upside. Why? Because we are very close to the dynamic reactor. We have the prophecy of pump, and also our consolidation score is very high. Usually that high usually means that we are strongly consolidating, but also that we are at the end of that consolidation. Something to be aware of, we are about to hit a loud order block, which is the hardest of them all, right? And also at the bottom, we have a high order block. So it's just a matter to see which of those is going to be giving out faster than the other one. The special trick in here, we already are within the loud order block, and we are holding strong. So for me, this is how Tradefly would say it. This is a no-no zone for me. I will be just waiting for the markets to take a clear direction, go for a strong support or go for a strong retest, and then I'll be jumping in there for a juicy trade. Because look at that, if we are able to bounce in here, we could be going for the money flow POC at 45 cents 97. So turning it back to you guys.
awesome. Let's go ahead and jump over to Tradefly. I think he's got the Soul Train ready. Let's go.
Oh, you know it, bro. Looking at Sol on the daily. All right, so you can see a symmetrical triangle set up. You see that there was a smart target there at about 117, 118. I'm not opposed to that. I actually think that was a pretty good smart target. It did find support a little bit sooner before that on the top side. So if I'm looking at it right here, I want to draw this line just so you can see like what I do when I see smart targets. All right, so I'm looking at support, resistance. where do we have some wicks here? Look at that, wick there, and then you can see it's also resistance, right? So that's what I like to do when I see these smart targets, just for your SA. Like, I don't always expect it to hit the smart target perfectly. It's an algorithm, it's doing math, it's doing OC things, all right, to try to figure this out. And so what I like to do is like, hey, let's look at the chart and see where we can find support. So it was pretty good, man. It gave you a pretty good spot to look at there. It really came down to about 122, and then it had its bounce. Now it popped right through this little area here, which was the value area low at one point, and this is just a previous fixed range volume profile here. And it moved up. And the thing that I was concerned with, I think I remember talking about this last time I was on the show, was the dynamic reactor. We were on the bottom side of the dynamic reactor last time we talked about it. Now here we are. So we're on top of a POC and a dynamic reactor. The thing that we have to worry about now is the symmetrical triangle. So we're in a tight spot here. And it's really tough for me to say, like, I'm very confident on where we're going to go, because I've seen this quite a bit with these symmetrical triangles. It comes up, especially when you have these smart targets down here. It comes up, it'll retest this area, and then it actually has its move downside and actually hits that smart target. So be aware of that. That's totally in play right now. Especially you want to keep an eye on Bitcoin, see which way that's moving. But if we break through, I think 163 is very much in play. All right, so where do I get 163 from? Again, I love the horizontal lines. I bet if I were to bring up the old chemtrails, it would probably show you some volume in this area as well, right? You can see there was a lot of support, and then we got the retest here, flipped what was support into resistance, and then ultimately made its move down. All right, so keep an eye right here on SOL. Right now, what are we currently sitting at? Let's see here. Price action is about like 144, 143. All right. So, you just gotta wait. All right, because you gotta wait for it to either find support or continue to find. So, like, see some movement here on price action, kind of on the top side of this dynamic reactor. And I mean, right here, if you're looking at the prime oscillator, I would say this is showing you strength right now. So I would say my bias is actually to the upside. You just got to be careful with this one. So if you're intraday scalping, I would set a pretty tight stop loss, to be honest with you, somewhere probably around, not financial advice. I would look probably somewhere around like 136 if you're doing intraday or scalping. And then, I would play it up. This is probably the move I would look for, at least up to 163 here. But that's, it's a risky play. So I'm not going to call it a no zone, but it kind of is, because I just don't have like, a warm and fuzzy that, we're at a solid area of support. This is kind of in the middle of things, right? This is, where the value area low is, and really where the smart target is. That would be like my zone that I'm a little more comfortable with things. If I were going to say, hey, there's going to be an area of support, and then I would see this, if I saw this, and we're down at 118, I'm a lot more comfortable with that than I am with where we're at right now with SOL. So, kind of indecisive in terms of which direction I think it's going to go. I will say my bias is, though, to the upside for Solana. We just got to keep an eye on the rest of the market. And again, your target areas, again, you got a little bit of resistance of 152, but I say 163, 164 is kind of your high side target. And then I think you're going to find support right around here about 122. So that's kind of the way I like to play the game. I like to let it come to me a little bit. And you saw that with the trades, right? I find those areas of support, and that's where I look for maybe multiple touches or just a bounce in that area of support. And so I will set alerts in these areas and let the price action come to me. So right here, we're kind of in the middle of, the two real target areas that I'm looking at. So that's what I got for Solana. What's up?
Yeah, don't chase your trades for sure. And the fact that we have not broke back into that breakout, that could have been a retest and the continuation. So yeah, very questionable trade if you're going to try to long that right now. So let's jump over here and talk about Chainlink for a second here, guys. I had a request for this. So for people that are new that haven't seen what I think Chainlink does a lot is it trades in this range. I'm just going to break this down real fast for you guys. You can see here previously for over a year, back in May of 2022, all the way up till October of 2023, we traded in this range period that you could have just set that on there, scalped up and down, right? If we move forward in time here, look at this bottom channel, we started into another trade range here. And during that time period, we were just sideways trading in that top and bottom support and resistance, right? We didn't broke out of it, went into a top range and started to trade in there. We did pull back into it periodically, but we have pulled back into this level down here, this range several times now, and we are still in it. When we were looking at this last week, I said, look, guys, we're likely going to be coming down to this bottom level here. Oh, hey, lock your fibs and lock your channels. How about that? There we go. It's locked. I said, look, guys, we are back down in here. If we're losing this level, we're likely going to head back down to this lower level again, and we did that. But when we throw on the fixed range volume profile, we've got a little bit of bullishness running right now because we did test down here on that value area low. And when we did that, I said this was a good spot to get in on a long or to accumulate if you were looking to. I said because we're likely going to head to that point of control of that fixed range volume profile. You can see it back here, that nice big mountain of volume back here. And now we've got this little level right here. You guys see this level that's coming in at about 1479. I want to show you what's there. It is the dynamic reactor and the 50% line of this entire trade channel. I would watch for us to hit resistance here. And if we come back down and retest that point of control, find support and move up, guys, I do believe that we're heading back up to $16.50 here on Chainlink. Just looking at that alone, if we pull up the oscillators and see what we're seeing on here, we do have a little more upside to run here on the Oscillator Pro. Taking a look, you can see we've got another goose head here, and it looks like we are doing another move to the upside. If we look at the daily on this, you'll see that we actually have a nice setup here of even more space to run, giving us that peak on the bottom. You can see the peak seeker on the daily printed right there. And now we're getting this nice wide ribbon coming up. RSI primed looking juicy there. I do think that we're going to see this come up, break through that level, guys. Just watch. We do have that target potentially coming in, $16.50 chain link. So let's go ahead and drop it over to OC, guys, see what he's looking at there, and we will continue on. We got about 18 minutes here, so we can continue on with some more TA for everybody.
Absolutely. It's always well known that the trend is your friend until the end. So if you're looking for a great indicator to show you the trend, shout out to Chart Prime that has a free indicator called the Ghost Trend Crossing. So it does a little bit of a magic in here, and also calculates a tangent. That tangent is very, very precise on showing you where we have the trend breakouts. All right. So basically right here on near, we are below the dynamic reactor, which means we are bearish, but also we have the prophecy marking that we are market pumps. All right. This could be a little bit of a latency. We need to wait for the oscillator to start pushing upward through the zero line to start having some momentum to push through this dynamic reactor. So what I'm going to be looking at, it is this breakout here. So that is something to be a little bit worried about, but also something that we talked about in the beginning of the class. It is the Wyckoff pattern. Look at what we got in here. We have a little range coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, and the next high, not high in the previous range. This is equals 70% chances of ranging in. What we got, a beautiful range. So justifying your ranges area right here. And another tool that is free to use and very good at showing you ranges, it is the regression trend. So just go ahead, draw in here, and it will show you that trend. You can even extend it a little bit more till where we got that little range in there, and you have your border to the upside and your border to the downside to look for those breakouts. Throughout this trend on the 4-hour, I will not be trading this range other than in the 30 minutes. So you be aware on the time frame. On the 4-hour, what I'm going to be looking at is going to be either positioning myself at the bottom of the range with a flip of the ribbon, or after a breakout retest and then jumping in for long right here. So that's what I got on near. Turning back to you guys.
Tradefly, what you got for us, bro?
Right on. Yeah, I got AGIX on the daily. Just put up a fib retracement on that. Just wanted to take a look-see, see if there's any important areas here. Looks like the golden pocket is, I don't know, it just looks kind of a little bit off. I'm not really liking the setup here on the fib retracement, so I'm going to take that off. So that's one thing you got to look at, guys. When you bring up your fib retracement, you want to see that price action is aligning with those key areas, right? If you're looking at the 0.5, you're looking at the golden pocket, you want to see that those things align. So I'm gonna take that off for now, and let's just kind of look at this in a traditional sense. What I see right now is kind of a it looks like price action is kind of going down and right. All right, so let's go ahead and mark that out for us. Let's get a trend line going. It's not going to be perfect, but I just want you to be able to visualize kind of what I'm seeing here. And what I see is a trend down and right. In conjunction with that, we did get that bounce here at about 46 cents. We came up to the dynamic reactor. We know how important that is. We love the dynamic reactor because it does give us a lot of support and areas of resistance. So you can see the trend now is red, came up, got the retest here. Let me go ahead and flip that on. We got the retest right there. And now it looks like it's pushing down and right and staying kind of in this channel. So here's the area I would say that I'm looking for price action to come down to, about 55 cents. Your top side target for AGIX on the short term is going to be in line with the dynamic reactor rate about here at 76 cents, 77 cents. Again, this is going to push down and right though as price action continues down and right. So that number could come down a little bit further to about 73 cents. Just keep an eye on it. But right now, trend is down and right on the daily for AGIX, but I would look for some support definitely and at about 55 cents and then even lower. And this is still in the range of this channel coming down and right. It could even come down as far as 46 to about 47 cents coming back right on the chart though. I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a lot of volume there. So your real support area, unfortunately, there is an opportunity here at 36 cents. And that right here would be what was resistance. You see that flipped into support and you're still in the channel. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert. I'm not saying it's going to go there, but again, we've talked about it. This is kind of how I like to trade. All right. I like to just let it come to me, man. I just wait. And there's so many times where we see these tokens and it's at $1.40 and you're like, man, I missed the boat. There's no way it's going to come back down. And then it comes down to areas here, gets a bounce off the dynamic reactor. This is a beautiful play in itself, right? If you just play the dynamic reactor, you had a move. I won't even do the wick. I'll just say the close here, 47%. And then we developed this channel. All right. So it's coming down and right. So that here, again, I'm just going to set an alert. I do that. We'll do it once and then I'll get my notifications, right? And this will be an area that I would be interested in getting an AGIX on some kind of swing trade, a little bit longer term of a trade. It won't be an intraday or a scalping. This will be one that I'd probably stay in for a little bit because then I would look for a move back up to the channel, right? So we extend that channel out a little bit. Then I'm going to say, okay, where is support and what is going to be resistance, which I think 52 cents would kind of be the play there. So I would look for something like this. If it comes down, if you see price action come down right here, and then boom, right there at this area would be my play. All right. So swing trading, that's kind of how I like to do this. And that is a 50% move. So we'll see how it plays out. But that would be kind of what I'm looking at on AGIX. Again, that's a far out look, but this is why you set notifications. You'll be surprised. You'll do this kind of analysis and then you'll wait like a couple weeks and then your phone starts blowing up. And you're like, what is this? And then you go back and you look at the chart and you're like, oh, now I remember. And so you start getting interested. But the one thing I would say, this is why we listen to this show, because we talk about some of the things that are going external, the news-based things like AGIX. There could be some FUD. There could be something out there. Make sure that you don't just always jump in the trade based on your phone giving you an alert. Go look and be like, hey, why is this price coming down? Is there something going on right now with that project? If there's not, then get back to your TA and be like, okay, let's go ahead and make a play here. Again, not financial advice, but that's what I'm looking for on AGIX.
Awesome. Yeah, that ASI merger coming up in July with AGIX and Fetch, there's a lot of sell-off. So because Coinbase, again, not supporting the auto merge, so you're going to have to do a lot of that work yourself. So I think
sell it.
Yeah, a lot of people are selling it to get ASI later. Exactly. Yep. So that is why I'm seeing Fetch and AGIX both pulling to the downside. If I was going to trade one of those two, I would just kind of sit and wait on AGIX and Fetch until
I'm
the
glad
merge.
you said that. So let me tell you something right now. Take everything I just said and throw it out the window. Don't set that alert because AGIX is probably going away. So I just wasted everyone's 5 minutes. You're welcome for that. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend.
AGIX is one of the is the second one to merge. It's Ocean
Yeah,
first
yeah.
to fetch, and then AGIX to fetch, and then
Yeah.
fetch will be a 1-to-1 to ASI. It's okay, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot to keep track of in this community, in this space, and that's why you should tune in to Piper Academy to get this info.
That proves the point right there, though. That proves the point. That's what I said. Go check the news. Why is it coming down? That's a good one.
That's it.
It's merging.
Shout out to Ray Ann Shipley, my niece in the audience right now in the chat. She said hi. So hi back to you. See, we're a family friendly show. Let's jump over here and check out what I'm seeing on Ondo. Looking at Ondo here, guys, we did have the symmetric triangle and it did not play out. It actually gave a smart target that never got hit. It came down and pulled right back up in. So we did get a downward move when it printed that a little ways, but not as far as that pattern would go. And so the reason that I'm pointing out the symmetric triangle here, guys, is because it's back in play. You guys can see that bottom trend line is now the support level that we're watching here. And so based on this, I'm actually going to change a T-box here. I'm going to bring this up to touch inside of that trend line there, guys, but we could wick down below that because we do have a value area high here, which has also been hit multiple times. Plus, if we go and we put on an even more recent fixed range volume profile here, you guys will see that this level, which is where that was topped out at, I did have the T-box closing on this, is the value area low of this entirely new fixed range volume profile area. So one thing that I'm going to be watching, we do have the nice volume node right there too. That would be inside of this. So yeah, guys, this is what I'm watching right here. This price range of about $1.09 to $1.10 is a good entry area for Ondo right now, especially when I pull this up and we look at what's going on here on the 4-hour. We look like we're starting to get a little bit of a curvature here on the Oscillator Pro ribbon. We are getting down close to that 30%. So this could give another little extension down to that bull zone, giving us a move down on the RSI Prime, down into the area that we normally see the reversal past that 30, which would put us right here in this Bach range. I would go ahead and look for, like, again, $1.08 to about $1.10 being a good entry on Ondo right now, based on what I'm seeing on the charts. So let's go ahead. We've got about 8 minutes, OC. Let's kick it over to you to knock out another round of TA, and then we will bring it out and talk it out.
Absolutely. We have AKT USDT basically blowing out through the dynamic reactor. Be careful here. Also, something that I want to touch, and I know it sounds like a little bit of a repetitive information, but look at that, going down, little range. Then what we have a V-shaped recovery high, not higher than the previous range. That gives us 70% chances of ranging. We already have that range, right? And I'm showing this once again because right here, when on other altcoins, when we are right there going for this V-shaped recovery, you can still see how this developed and also how to trade it. Also, I'm going to be giving you a possible entry right here on AKT if you miss this boat. So remember that right here, this gives us 70% chances of ranging, and also pretty much defines where we're going to be seeing that range. Let's just mark it up manually really quick in here. And this is our range. And what we're going to be looking at, it is going to be the breakout here. So as you can see, yeah, it was pretty fast, but also we have the bullish confirmation here. Also, remember, we never try to enter on these bullish entries. We enter on pullbacks, on retracements. That usually give us a best possible scenario for our stop loss, right? So another interesting thing is that we are at the top or maxing out our oscillator in here. So if I start turning on, for example, our equilibrium on premium zones, we are right at equilibrium. That also is an indicator that we have a ranging scenario. And also this green box, if I double click in here, you see that those are my fair value gaps. Usually theory behind fair value gaps is that we go and revisit the 50% back on that fair value gap. So what is telling us everything here? Equilibrium says that we're going to be ranging for a little bit. Our oscillators, it tells us that we're going to be retracing, and our green box in here is telling us that we also could be retracing where exactly, to the 50% area. What is at the 50% area? Our dynamic reactor. So I am strongly looking for that possible retrace and a little bit of candles like that, maybe making a bullish flag or a bullish pennant, and then looking for a breakout here. Just be aware that depending on what Bitcoin does, AK or Akash network might be retraced farther into the previous box in here. So we could even be seeing that farther move before we start coming back up. So what's going to be my planning here? Just waiting for the retest. Here is the Tradefly's no-no zone because we are maxing out in here. I want to see the oscillator go back a little bit. And when I see the flip of the ribbon, also I want to be at on some sort of support. If I do have that support, which by the way, this is our automated support and resistances right here, this is going to be my clear entry for a long position right here, aiming to my next big support, then setting my stop loss to the next big resistance and keeping a wiggle room. And then this is going to be TP1, and then aiming right here for TP2. So hopefully, guys, it plays out. We'll see how it develops. Remember to be quick to change your mind as we have new information, right? It's always smart to have to act upon the latest information that you got. Other than that, turn it back to you guys.
All right, real quick, I'm going to touch on a Clean Spark here real fast because I am seeing something on here that is worth noting to the alumni. This yellow line here, guys, is the 100-day exponential moving average. Right now, we are still in our green buy zone. This, anytime that we're in this area, I think that it is a good point for me to pick up more Clean Spark. We are coming in line right now with the 100-day moving average, though, so I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. You know that when Bitcoin does its little pullbacks, these mining stocks get pullbacks also, but right now it does look like a really good spot on Clean Spark. So I just wanted to bring that up and show you guys what was going on there. Let's jump over to the news. We'll talk about this real fast, guys. Next Tuesday, Billy Goat Tales Season 2 premiere. We are leading out the gate for Season 2. It is going to be the Piper Academy team on Billy Goat Tales being interviewed, and so I'm very excited and looking forward to that. If you guys know about Billy Goat Tales, you need to be over there checking it out and set your reminder. If you don't know about it, you need to go to Billy Goat Tales and follow. They have amazing spaces. An entire first season that was done with it's going to be an NFT children's book. So you guys have got to go check that stuff out, man. They did that. And now Season 2 is going to be highlighting and spotlighting givers gain mentality content creators in the space. So we are excited and honored to be the first ones out the gate for Season 2 next Tuesday. So make sure you guys are there. Tradefly OC. That is the end of the show. I do have a redirect. It's not to Randy Hipper today, set up for today's show. Randy Hipper is not live today because she is moving out of New York. So shout out to her. She's making smart choices in life. But yeah, she's moving. So no show today. The redirect is not going to be immediately after the show. It will redirect you to the upcoming. Make sure you click notify me when it goes live, guys. It's Dave Digital. Dave Digital is doing a show today. Yes, Dave Digital is doing a show today. So I set a redirect up to his channel. As soon as it pops up at the end of our show, hit notify me, and you'll get notified when he goes live at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be 9:30 here in the Mountain Time, but it's about an hour after the end of the show. So shout out to Dave Digital, giving him a little love there, and shout out to Alex O Crypto in the chat, who, by the way, is a better golfer than both of the people in the debate last night. So, Tradefly, what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Yo, I got to be honest with you. Who else is dying with anticipation to find out what OC Guy is about to happen when you hit that like button? I'm just saying. It is almost like a thing. Like, I'm just looking forward to it every time because I know it's going to be absolutely banana land. Other thing is, what do you guys think? I think we need a little sticker for the no-no zone. I think that's something we need. And I'm going to try to find a soundbite as well because I keep hearing the no-no zone come up. Hey, Dave Digital, my man, I'm excited for you, dude.
He's saying he's not. I'm going to show him. No. Somebody is doing it. Yeah, I know. Watch this.
No.
Watch. Yeah, he said he's not. Watch this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you here on what I have set up. Hold on. Let me get to it.
All lies.
It is all lies. I know. FUD, right? Fake news. I'm going to pull this up and show you so that he can see what I'm talking about here. There we go. That's the live. Let's edit the video.
He keeps saying I'm not.
Dude, I was shocked when I saw it too, but I got to show him. I'm going to come over here.
Did somebody just like set it up for him? Look,
Dave Digital scheduled. Oh, it's March 4th. Okay. 9:30. Okay, so look, this is why you got to read
User
better.
error.
User error. Dude, I wish you would, because Randy Hipper wasn't live today and we could have done that. So my bads.
Right
My
on.
bads. My
I'm
bads.
still tuning in because I am going to harass him in the chat like he does for us. So that's going down. I'm excited for this. I'm gonna
Bobby
get
C in
Dave
the chat.
Digital.
I want to give a shout out to this guy. Bobby C in the chat is the new GOAT. He said holding 3 million Caspa and not effing selling. I'm with you, bro. I'm with
All
you.
right.
I don't have that
All right.
much, but I am not selling. I think that Caspa is absolutely moonshotting to the top of the market cap. So, all right.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Sorry about the Dave Digital thing. That was all the way back in March. I went to go redirect to a friend's channel. I saw one there from him. It was old. Go delete that thing, Dave. Jesus.
I've never seen someone put a show out so early though. That's punctuality right there, man. Good on you.
Well, it was for last March. He never
was last March.
Yeah, March 2023. I think I said it was like way back there. So
I don't even know my months right now.
I was excited. I was like, Dave Digital's doing content now. Let's go. He said one day soon.
Cool,
Dave, when you do go live, when you get it set up and you are ready to go live, you let us know. Piper Academy will absolutely support you. But OC, tell these people what they get if they hit that subscribe button.
Here we go.
Absolutely. I also want to do a first shout out here to Amy Leaf Crypto. Always here in the chat, always shouting out for the Piper Academy. Thank you so much, Amy Leaf Crypto. Guys, thank you so much for joining today. A quick reminder to click that like button, because if you do, and if you're running out of soap and you're too lazy to go to the supermarket, you might last one more day without taking a shower. Just make sure you take special care of your hairiest part of your body, like your beard. And if you're a girl, like your hair, right?
So
I don't know where he comes up with this stuff.
That's why T-Shirm's beard is getting so full. He's been coming in and hitting the like button every day, so it's just growing. You see, I forget half the time. So there you go. Tradefly, OC, let's go ahead and head out of here. Guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. We are here every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys economic data, the charts, the market reports, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. We will catch you guys back here next Monday, not tomorrow, Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go out this weekend, touch some grass, guys. Go touch some grass. It's great. And we will see you then. Till then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Tradefly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.
What are you guys still here for? Go touch grass. It's Friday. Jeez.